Okay, hi everyone. It's Erica here, and I am coming to you now from a much higher dimension that I was in earlier. But I come with an important message um, for empaths during Mercury retrograde. Protect your energy. Um, this is not a freaking joke. Like, there is some heavy energy right now, and it's like highly emotional also. So start a discussion. Everybody in the comments, tell me, what are some of your favorite ways, especially when you gotta do things. Like, not everybody has the luxury of being able to choose solitude when necessary. Like, a lot of empaths are out there in the work field, and we're going to grocery stores, and we're just, we're interacting with less than desirable types sometimes during a Mercury retrograde, because basically it's like shit from the past bubbles up. Things that you may thought you were over bubbles up during a Mercury retrograde. So until it's done with, then I guess each retrograde you're going to get another chance to clear it out. So now that I've been, on this journey for long enough now, I do realize that I have the awareness to say, okay, Mercury retrograde is bringing some stuff up. I'm just going to be thankful for the awareness and the trigger of it being brought up, because now I know where the work needs to be done. So, and this is sometimes how I analyze with what to start off with other people too. So I'm going to kind of just do it to myself. We got to get into the self-diagnostics. So if you're following this video, you might want to get a pen and paper. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to be by yourself for this. Or with somebody who's actually supportive. You can't have any distractions. This is going to require you really tapping in to your subconscious and sitting with some uncomfortable things. So what we're going to do is, the crazy thing is I'm actually going to listen to this video later to do it to myself, because while I'm instructing it, I'm not really going to be doing it on myself. So you're going to recall you're going to feel into the unpleasant feeling that you have, and you're going to kind of sit with it, acknowledge it, and then you're going to go a little deeper and try to recall the last time that you had felt like that. So, like, was that a week ago? Was that a year ago? Was it a month ago? Was it 10 years ago? The very last time. Yesterday, whatever it is for you. Go to the last time. Recall that. Allow yourself to feel it. And then I want you to go deeper to the first time you've ever felt that way. Now, this is where the transformation happens, okay? Once you go to the first time, and now if you're correctly linked in and you have a connection, so if you need to do something to make yourself connected before you just get right into this, that's definitely what you need to do. So once you recall that first time, you're going to have awareness around that situation. Most likely, this is something that you don't actually remember in your brain. Or your mind, I should say. This is something that you're going to be remembering in your subconscious in the Akashic records. So recall this time possibly happened between the ages of 0 to 6, possibly. Um, each person could be different, but it doesn't really matter as long as you recall. And then what you're going to do is like play it out. Basically, your eyes are closed. You're going to have your third eye open. You're going to be playing this out basically like a movie screen. And you're going to be the observer to the little you and the situation, what's going on around you, and how you feel. Okay? So you're going to witness this and you're going to say, what? And this is the one perspective, okay? And you're going to think, what does this little one need to not feel like this? You know, what would they actually need? And then you can sit with that for a while. And then you're going to get into the perspective of you are that little one. You are feeling the feelings. And then you think to yourself, being that little one, what did you need then? Okay, and then you're going to sit with that for a while. Now, if you want to have the perspective of you being the little one first, and then as the observer to the little you in the situation, that's fine. It doesn't matter that however you feel comfortable. And this session may take more than one time if you need to practice, and that's okay too. So then after you've observed both perspectives on that situation, re-feeling that feeling that was triggered in you, then at that time, you, as you right here, the adult you, your soul, is going to enter into that situation. You're seeing this as a movie again. You, as the adult you, are going to enter into that movie, and you're basically going to pick the little child up of you, hold them close, and you're basically going to have to reparent or revise. This is a past revision programming hack, basically. You're going to past revise the uncomfortable situation to what the situation, what would have made it better, and what would have made that feeling not be programmed in. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. That way, you're dismantling the programming that's looping. Now, most of this stuff that's been programmed inside of our DNA is coming from like lifetimes and lifetimes. So when you're opening up this whole can of worms, this rabbit hole of healing, just think about doing this exercise with several different instances. But you will notice when you have been in the practice of doing this, getting your connection, seeing it in your third eye, feeling it in, feeling it physically, and revision. What that does is help take away that programming, so that the cycle of, oh, this happens, then this happens, that you're breaking that down. Okay, so I affirm that I was able to explain that in such a way that it makes it really clear and relatable. So if anybody has any questions, this is really something I could actually give a full explanation about in like an hour. I can also walk you through it by getting you into a hypnotic trance. And I would put some ASMR on for that. We can do video calls. So sessions of that nature where I kind of walk you through that. And we can do a session around what in particular you have a certain situation or a certain trigger of it. So this is kind of like the in a nutshell 10-minute version, just to kind of give you a way to figure out and do this stuff for yourself, because I know that I do a lot on my own as learning wise, like I went and saw someone to have it done one time, and that was a wonderful experience, and I would definitely do that again. But once I knew how to do it, and once I started doing it on others, it's become more natural to do this. So once you kind of get into your habit of doing this revision, this reparenting, this healing of the inner child, it will be more natural to you. But until it's natural to you, that's what I'm here for. Like that's I'm coaching you to basically become the healer of yourself that you are. I'm just kind of trying to, get you to run with it here. Like, so that's kind of part of the stuff that I'm into with the healing. But it's like, I am still going through a lot of my own shit, which is crazy because, I have had a ton of breakthroughs. I have had a ton of transformational happenings. I have had tons of miracles and synchronicities. And, I just feel like I've up leveled and elevated so much. I was kind of shocked and surprised that I even, had to feel anything from Mercury retrograde. I mean, really. So if that doesn't just show you how fucking powerful these energies are, I don't know what does. So, I mean, take cover, people. No, it's time to explore your shadow self. You know what I mean? And I was just thinking that yesterday as I was looking out my window. The sun was over there, my neighbor's tree was right here, and then all over my road was like, it looked like the tree of life. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, I was looking at it with my eyes, but then I started looking at it with my third eye, and I said, you know what? This is a profound message. And I looked at that shadow side of the tree and I noticed it was dark, it was cold. And the crazy thing is that the front of the tree, it's all illuminated. Like, everything's on display. It's gorgeous, completely warm and basking in the sun. And, the shadow side can't help that it's the shadow side. It's just there. It's a part of you. Like, so you have to allow it the time that it needs to speak up. Like, that's your inner child speaking up, that shadow side of you. And some can even say that the shadow side is the ego. The shadow side is the subconscious. Some people will say that. I am basically just here to kind of give a visual description, like you have that side of you that is, it's all the same thing though. That's the thing, is like the bark is exactly the same. And then, something else come around and illuminates, and then all of a sudden what you thought was the shadow side then, well, it's not the shadow side anymore. That's on display as well. So you know, and then another turn, and then there's something else. Oh, I didn't know that was there. What kind of shadow side is this? Like, there's always going to be some fucking thing, I guess, with Mercury retrograde, and I'm just glad I'm aware of it now. I've been in this for like, I don't know, I would say since 2012. I think a lot of us got fucking woken up in 2012. And then shit really made a huge shift, like just in 2020. It feels like 2020 has just already been its own year already, with how lightning speed our healing capabilities have been, and lightning speed that these transformations are occurring. And so, yeah, I mean, Mercury retrograde is happening whether people are aware of it or not. So basically, that's kind of like the message here in this video. And I hope that you will use the Mercury retrograde. Obviously, if you're sitting here watching this video to the end, you have interest in taking the time that you need to do your shadow work, do your inner healing. Like my shadow today was illuminated. My abandonment shadow was illuminated today by my karmic that, you know, I thought that was in the past. So it gave me another chance to heal another trigger, heal another wound. And luckily, with my awareness now, I was able to move through that quickly instead of staying in the lower density vibrations, because fuck that shit. Yeah, so I imagine that if you are into healing and transformation, you're going to keep following me, and feel free in the community, in the comments, to start discussions about whatever. I just want to build like a starseed family of passionate visionaries. So, all right, bye.